It's an honor to have you on the show. Thank you for doing this, agreeing to do this. We've had so many great people on, and I've always wanted to meet you. So.
Thank you.
The first thing, we're talking about black film. Like, we talked to a lot of people about their opinions on black film and the current state of black cinema. How would you define, what is your definition of black film?
Just what you said, black film.
Doesn't,
Black film. Only thing I would change is black film in a white racist system.
okay, because
And the blackest film that's ever been made was made by a white boy, Tarantino, and Django Unchained. Never been nothing like that.
you really like that one.
I went 46 times to see it.
Well, why do you say it's the blackest black film?
Because it was a story of a black man and a black woman, a love story, and it wasn't no fucking, no drinking, no cussing. Never have that ever happened in the history of Hollywood. Never. No sex. And it's a real story. See, it probably couldn't have ran if we knew that Jamie Foxx played the role of the first person who died at Harper's Ferry with John Brown. He went there with 26 people, 5 black, and Dangerfield Newby was the first person. They found a letter in his pocket, and that was the letter they was talking about in the film with his wife. My problem was, I knew the story of John Brown. If I had to take everybody that's ever lived in the history of the planet, including Jesus, not God, and Jesus, and write them in order, John Brown would be ahead of Jesus Christ. And most black folk don't even know that.
Wow.
Why? Jesus came here to die for our sins. Okay? John Brown didn't come here to die for our sins. He was a white man that somewhere a conscience was there. And think about John Brown, the greatest movement in the history of the planet was a group of white folks, abolitionists, especially up in Boston way, abolition. Now, they didn't get paid. They was talking about freeing black folks, and there was no bounty on how many black folks you can free. And the reason John Brown is my hero, I will die. You got to go a long ways to get blacker than me. He took his 2 sons with him. 2 sons with him. I'm not taking my grandchildren with me. And if it was back when my youngsters, my children was going, I wouldn't take them with me. He did. A white man.
Now, are you
Had
drawing?
it not been for him, we wouldn't be here now. I mean, America. It was that raid on Harper's Ferry that tipped off the Civil War.
Now, but Django got a lot of criticism for the use of the N-word.
Let me tell you something about black folks. Did you see the Abraham Lincoln movie? You see how many times they use nigger? Nobody criticized that. Huh? Did you see The Butler? Nobody criticized that. Okay? It's a game they play. That's what I said in the beginning. Black movies in racist Hollywood? I mean, think about that. Here's a white man put a movie together where Jamie Foxx and that white boy was blowing white folks' head off, and they showed the blood splatting on the wall. That's why I said I wanted to see it. I don't give a damn what it did for anybody else. I know what it did. All my life I've been to movies. Before there was television. Man, I sit there and cried when I saw Jamie Foxx right in town. Why? I've only seen white boys in cowboy movies. They didn't even have black buckwheats in cowboy movies. That was all white. And they riled me up so bad I'd go to a cowboy movie and pull for the cowboy over the Indian, okay? And so I'm sitting there and watch Jamie Foxx and this white boy stroll into town. And when that white woman said, "A nigger on a horse," and then they rolled up, got off the horse, and tied the horse there to the stall, man. Wow. I said, "Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you."
So, I mean, you've been in this game for a minute. Like, how do you think it's changed, or has it changed, as long as you've seen it? Black films, black filmmaking.
Well, I don't get it. They make black films. You know, it's black folks in film, but they're not black folks in film. We accepted black film without any restrictions because the movies was the most powerful thing in the history of the planet. Why? Because you could make a mistake and correct it. You took your camera out there to a fire and you missed it, you can't. But you could correct it. You could slant it any way you wanted it to go. And so, how do I not treat myself to the most powerful thing in the world? And so, and I didn't care who you was, just a black face. Probably one of the biggest money makers, not now, at that time was Stephen Fetchit. Most folk don't know that. I mean, more money than white folks made. Why? Because when white folks looked at him, he was strengthening their stereotype. And when I looked at him, I just saw a black person. See, it didn't bother me because I knew black doctors as a boy. It's in the family. Black school teachers, black principals. White folks never had a balance at all. They saw him. And plus, well, you know what a good actor he is, he was probably the #1 pimp in the history of America. So for him to come from that role, had a stable of nothing but white women in L.A. and had 43 Bentleys. So you got to understand what kind of actor he was when he can take that character off and say, "How's the boss? Whatever y'all need, huh?"
Oh, did you ever get a chance to meet him or any of the early those guys that were forced to play those stereotypes?
No, they wasn't forced. We don't give them no break, man. Huh? So a whole lot of women would starve to death before they would sell pussy to feed their children. They would believe death is better. So we always want to come up and pick up some slack. Soldiers going to war, huh? To kill folks you don't even know and come back and they shoot your mom in the back of the head and you ain't gonna go get no gun. No. See, that's the beautiful thing now. There's a new mindset coming through that ain't gonna tolerate none of that crap that they told us at all. My mother, if she was alive today, she'd call the police on me, most of the shit I be saying. Why? My mother raised 6 of us by herself. 2 weeks after New Year's, she did other jobs so she could raise money that we would have a good Christmas. And they told me a white boy brought it to me. There's no excuse for that, even if it was my mama. Huh? None whatsoever. Can you imagine a Jew bringing toys and stuff to their children and telling them Hitler and the Nazis brought them? That's, see, the most ignorant, stupid things that ever happened to me. Everything I was doing bad, the Ku Klux Klan did, I got it from my mama at home. At home.
So you talk about this new crop of people. I mean, what, from your perspective, what do you think is the current state of black film today?
Well, see, I don't see that many films. And there's not that many black films to judge from, you know.
But you've seen Belle, right? You talked about seeing Belle on one of your podcasts.
Yeah.
and 42.
But that's not a. You mean the girl in London?
The movie, the English
Yeah, but
movie.
that ain't no black film. You serious? How many black folks did you see in that film? See, this is the problem. That's a white film. When I hear you say black film, I thought you talking about black folks that.
Well, it's a black director and writer
In what?
for Bell. You know.
So everybody go to the movie know that that's a nigga that did that. Come on, man. You know it because this is your job, huh? You know what's in the hamburger meat if you grinding it up. I don't know when I'm eating a hamburger. So you bringing your professional stuff in here and think my mama she don't understand that. Black film to black folks is how many black folks do you see? Huh? There'll come a day when you are a black person that's already directed film with no black folks in it. But that ain't a black film to me. The mind ain't ready for it. We so far behind on it, you know. And so I tell people, Bell, 20 years or 50 years before they can do another movie to equal that. And if I had to close my eyes and look at it and say, who wrote that?
Right. Because of the technology, there are more films being made by black people than
Well, see, you know that.
Right.
Huh? You know that.
Yeah.
But people who don't know that.
Right.
You know, how many black folks in America has a McDonald's franchise? If you was a business person in that, you would know. I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I'm just setting you up. I'm throwing you a softball.
Yeah.
So, last year there were more black films made, there were like 20 that were released nationally theatrically, including and the biggest grossers were like 42, which was directed by a white person.
Yep.
But it was about Jackie Robinson and The Butler. Those made over $100 million each. The year before that, The Help was a big hit. Made over $100 million. Why do you think that the stories and the 12 Years a Slave won the Academy Award? Do you see a trend in those types of films?
Yeah, I look at 12 Years a Slave as a trick, man. I didn't buy into that bullshit, And the guy that said he wrote it, he didn't write it. I know that, It's like somebody called me when, what's the guy, the spook that sit by the door, Greenleaf? He didn't write that. Well, let's take it real simple. How come he didn't do another book? See, I don't even believe the great book that sold The Invisible Man. I don't believe he wrote that. How you do one book that brilliant and can't do another one? I ain't buy that. About 45 years ago, I was in Paris. My phone rings. Dick Gregory, so-and-so, so-and-so. Got something you need to see. Can we come up? No, I'll come down. I'll come down. Give me a script. See, we'd like to leave this with you. Come back tomorrow and see what you think of it. I don't read nothing overnight for nobody. I started reading this, and I couldn't stop. It was called The Nigger That Sit by the Door. And I said, wow, man, what a, whew. They said, it's yours. Mine. Is this some kind of trick? I put it out. And then somebody comes and say, he didn't write. No. So, oh, no, it's yours. I said, well, let me tell you, I like this so well. Let me read through it, and if I can make enough changes in it that I can feel that it's mine without changing it, then and I never called them back or talked back, and the next thing I know, I see this piece of shit coming out. In the real one, those were white folks getting killed. In this one, it's in Chicago, and black folks killing black cops. So they called me and said he died, and I know, not me. I thought he was dead.
Right. So, but in terms, there's like the most successful black films. Um, from my perspective, they tend to treat racism as if it were something that happened in the past. Like The Help or 42. Like racism, prejudice was something that was conquered in the 50s and 60s. Why do you think these types of movies get all the money or make
We don't know if they get
hundreds of millions, whereas
we don't know if they're making money or not. Let me tell you, if they take a book of yours and want to make it a bestseller, they buy thousands of copies and throw them in the ocean. And that week you come up on the New York Times bestseller. I don't find all that bullshit, man. In no shape, form, or fashion. See, I know what they do. And they do it so much, even when the real one come through, I have to question it.
So, I mean, do you think of film as a form of social programming, or?
Sure, it's always been.
Okay.
It's always been.
All right. So let's go back then. You talked about how when you were growing up watching.
Well, let me ask you something.
Sure.
Did you see the movie The Wizard of Oz?
Mm-hmm.
Go back and see it again. That's about the Kansas City Kansas City Federal Reserve. That's what that's about. Did you see the movie King Kong?
Mm-hmm.
That's about Jack Johnson and the white women. What's a gorilla doing in New York? Ain't no trees, and Lord knows ain't no bananas. What's there? The boxing capital of the world, Madison Square Garden. So sometimes you look at it and you don't see the code, see through the code. The other side of midnight is about Kennedy did not die in Dallas. He was a vegetable. Okay? And then if you look at the movie that Frank Sinatra just made,
Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah. Now, when that came out, before Kennedy was hit, and they realized, the big boys, that they paid Sinatra and them hundreds of millions of dollars to pull that off the market for X amount of years. Now they know it's getting ready to come back on, so Denzel Washington, he don't know nothing, he's just an actor. He don't know nothing. Brilliant actor. That's all I expect out of him. So when Denzel Washington did the Manchurian Candidate, it was different. So all the young folks is born that saw the Manchurian Candidate, they didn't see the real one. Didn't see that Lee Harvey Oswald was treated the same way with brain control. So that's what they do. They can do that anytime they want because they're in power. What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them. So I read all the papers, not because I trust none of them, to look for the crack in the fabric. You think a mighty nation like this would have the Washington Post and the New York Times and don't have CIA agents and FBI agents on? You think the evening news ain't got agents on there that we grew up with? We think it's the game they play.
Were you always a questioner? Did you always question this?
No. Why would I? Shit, I like bubble gum and tutti frutti and as I got into comedy, I'll tell you this and I'll go back to Rodney King. I'm in Chicago. Black club. I get up with the newspapers and make fun of the white folks. Sun Times, Chicago Tribune. So 3 rich billionaire white women was murdered at a reservoir called Start Park and raped. So they arrest one white boy, and I get up and I hold a paper. I say, now watch this here. One man can't rape 3 women, and sex maniacs don't run in pairs. So what they tell me now? I'd hit this every night. And I said, and they not just ordinary white women. They sports like white women. You have to be something walking in 22 inches of snow.
Mm.
So one night, one Saturday, I looked down, there's 3 white boys.
Mm-hmm.
4. Ain't laughing or nothing, just sitting there. So I finished and get up, walk back, white boy said, "Come here, boy." I said, "Your motherfucking mama's a boy. Your mama's a boy, you." He pulls his shit. "Oh, that? I thought you were going to show me your dick, you faggot cracker." So he gets, his partner comes up and said, "Mr. Gregory, he's just a little upset he had a problem tonight." I said, "Oh, y'all must have a problem. I did some funny shit and yet none of y'all laughed." So I walked to the dressing room. And he said, "You know, he crazy. He could have shot you." I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Y'all think y'all know crazy niggas. Y'all know criminals. I'm crazy. So he said, "Well, here's the problem we got." I said, "I want to hear about your problem, man. I come here and I make $10 a night. And I'm not taking no shit off nobody. I go out there and I do my work and I come home." So then he brings another guy in. And he said, "Mr. Gregory, I hate everything you do about the Starved Rock thing, but one of them women was my wife. So I'm willing to give you this $5,000 if you drop that." I just said, "Fuck you. Go tell your mama. Yo, get out of here." Then I knew I had something. I knew I had something.
Because?
$10 a night, 3 nights a week. And this white boy gonna bring me $5,000 to stop doing something that he don't like. Whew. So after that, I'd always looked at the paper. I'd always ask questions, you know. The devil. I was a little boy. You couldn't ask around ignorant black people. How come I ain't never seen a fat devil? I see fat preachers, fat popes, Buddha fat. How come I ain't never seen the devil in a dirty uniform? How come I ain't never heard the devil cussing and talking loud? Then as I get bigger, I increase it. I can go all over the world right now and recognize a prostitute. You know, the streetwalkers. You can't recognize the real ones who go to Vassar with PhDs and stuff. That's another story. So see this prostitute? You can too. You can recognize her by their demeanor, their wig, the way they swing their hips. But if you don't tell me you're a Christian, I don't know you one. There's something wrong with that. I can recognize a hoe without her telling me. But what's wrong with your demeanor that you have to tell me you're a Christian? So I've been doing that all my life. Simple question, man, that my little grandchildren ask me now. "Granddad, God sent Jesus here to die for our sins." I say, "That's what they say." "Well, how come he didn't just kill the devil?" I mean, think about that. If the devil is making us do that, and it ain't but one devil, kill him. Why send your son? And then when I heard what Jesus said on the cross that last day, "Father, Father, why have you forsaken me?" Don't that sound like a nigga trying to get away?
Right.
That's all you have to do is just, and that's all I did, was just sit and ask. I couldn't ask too many questions around the old folks. Because their ignorance, there was no room for that. And I can understand that. If the 3 of us was at a conference 120 years ago and we say one day horses would be obsolete, they wouldn't even examine. They'd take us right to a mental hospital. Because that's all we've had for thousands of years is horses, and there's no room to change that.
Right. But
and so what I'm saying is, the question you asked, I've been doing that for a long time. Groundhog Day. If the groundhog sees his shadow, 6 more weeks of winter. So I tell my little friend, Boo, I said, "Look here, man, I got this calendar I made. February the 2nd, see here, right here?
Mhm.
Now spring is March 21st. So here's two calendars, two sheets. And I said, if you count from February the 2nd, or as they said, 6 more weeks of winter, from February the 2nd to March 21st is 6 weeks.
Right.
The groundhog ain't got nothing. I've been doing that all my life, man.
Right. I mean, you're a philosopher. I mean, you know, even like your best albums, you're causing people to think.
Yeah, but that wasn't what I was doing. I was me. I was talking to me. When I dress up and go to your daughter's wedding, that's for me. They might have fatigues on or barefooted. I'm going to something that I think is important because I know you. So I dress the way a white racist system say you're supposed to dress for something important. The mob do the same thing. That don't mean they're clean, you know. And that I've been knowing for a long time. The only reason the CIA and the FBI and British intelligence, the reason I'm ahead of them, they represent filth and slime and darkness. We represent light. And there's no darkness in the world. That's what I love about nighttime. I get up and watch the sun come out. Sun come out and smack nighttime. Clean out the sky. It don't listen to no, oh wait, let me get two more. Pop, and it's gone. That's the power of light. And when you don't understand you light, then things change. They got niggas believing they dark. You go into a dark room and strike a match. And the room gets light. If you walked in this room today and it was 10 million cockroaches in here and 300 rats, you can't shoot them. You turn the light on and they will leave. That's the role of darkness. But when light gets scared of darkness, then you violate the universe. You violate the universe.
So that's your job.
No, I don't look at it as my job. I just get up and do it. That's me, you know. And I'm willing to die for it.
So
When I hit big and made more money than anybody was making in entertainment, it wasn't for my wife and family. It wasn't for them. It was for black folks. Why? Why black folks? When I started off in comedy, little bitty old ratty nightclubs, black folk come in. That's all I had. They listened to me when I wasn't funny, and when they got through listening, I was so funny, they pushed me all the way downtown where they couldn't afford to come see me, so I got to go back. I have to go back. That's why I'm always listed in the phone book, don't have no bodyguards. And so this is the game. And so when you sit and you see that, don't have to be validated by nobody. I mean, when was the last time black publication Dick Gregory was listed with the top 100 black folk? Never. But here's a book out that says 1,100 people who made America. This is a game. And once you get tied up in the game.
So what's your legacy? How would you like to be remembered?
I don't see you keep reaching back to that bullshit.
Okay.
I know who I am, and if I voted for myself for something on the tombstone, be simple. He had no hidden agenda. I don't care what nobody think about me. Can you imagine if a welfare mother told Rockefeller he broke, if he reacted to it, I'd take my money out to Chase Manhattan Bank? Anybody that come to defame me is either the government or crazy. When I need you to define me, I'm in trouble. This is a game. Why'd you give me some letter? My wife read it. She controls me. Black woman and the black church is the two most powerful forces in the history of America, and we don't know that. Black woman. Because they lie on her, they lie on us. For instance, I got 10 children. If I left them children, the white folks stand and said, the children going to be affected. No man at home. The problem in the black neighborhood There's no black man at home. But if I go to war and get killed, they never said that's going to affect my children. Ain't that funny? As long as I'm getting killed for white folks, it's okay. But if I just walk off from her, oh, the baby's going to be, oh, the baby's going to, come on, y'all.
Right.
This is a game. Honky, 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 honky. You know?
So,
See, prostitution is made for the benefit of white men.
right.
Okay? I get pussy free. I don't mean as a celebrity.
Right.
I get pussy free. So we running prostitutes off the corner one day in St. Louis. And I'm on this TV show, and I said to this white boy, I said, we out there cause prostitution's for the benefit of white men, so I'm trying to send them to sit in front of the First National Bank. He said, you mean black men don't have? Oh yeah, I have her. She my sister. I get her when she come home after she got your money. I get her for free when she's wet. I never had to pay for it. And so it's that whole, that.
So when did you discover or realize that it was all a game?
You don't. It's like going your hair grow. If you can feel your hair grow, you go crazy. You just look around and realize you got to go to the barber. You don't feel nothing. What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
So let's talk real quick, just in terms of film and social programming. You know, a lot of these films that take place in the 50s and 60s that involve black people treat as if racism is over, as something that happened in the past. I mean, do you think that that's true?
Sure, but let me ask you something, man. If a brother will lie to get some pussy, what do you think a white boy do to control the whole world? Huh? That's like sitting here complaining about Hitler and the Nazis. They was doing that long before Hitler came along. And we missed what them Hitler and them Jews, what they were saying. He said he gonna make a perfect race. He was talking about Germans. He was talking about killing them misfit Germans. That's what he said. I mean, World War I and World War II wasn't white folks attacking Africa or black boy. They was attacking each other. I'm looking at a white boy. The white woman in America didn't get the right to vote till 1921. That's his wife. That's his girlfriend. That's his daughter. She came over on the boat with him. Boy, what a fool I got. Think about that. Mm-hmm. If I impregnate your sister, half that's mine. So all them slaves he was knocking up, half that he can't nothing about it. If he don't care nothing about that, he don't care nothing about nothing. So that's where I look at it now. I look back and I see it and I look at it and the power that they have, the real ones. I told the audience last night, if ever I took over America, I'd make you black folks apologize to white folks because you mad at the wrong white folks. The white folks you mad at couldn't help you if they liked you. If the Ku Klux Klan would have done this year what the Supreme Court did, was mess with the voting, we'd be still complaining. Powerful white folks do it, don't say a word. You know, we're really stupid enough to believe that the Ku Klux Klan, a bunch of ignorant, redneck crackers that can't read or write, determines public policy. The Tea Party, do you think the white businessmen in America is the most powerful, cruel, evil, most of them, on the planet? You think they would let the Tea Party shut this government down if they didn't want it?
What are the politics in Hollywood?
Whatever the people who run the world want, that's what the politics are.
Okay.
They glamorize war. Man, I couldn't wait to get to the war. Wasn't no TV. It's a woman thing. Every Hollywood movie you saw, a woman, man. A woman. John Wayne died. Before he died, he tell his friend to tell Betsy I love her. Then we get TV in the 50s in Vietnam, and I'm listening to the news. They calling for mama. Mama, oh, mama, come. And that's why they can't get a military together, because the children saw it. And war ain't glamorous. War is not Hollywood. That's what they do. They throw that whole piece there, the whole piece there.
Right. Let's bring it back to Django real quick because we had a sound problem there. Like you said that was the first time you saw a hero that you could relate to in Western. Was
No,
Django?
all them white folks was my hero. Man, when Martin Luther King came through talking about, John Wayne was my hero. Man, John Wayne said, if you got a gun and they got a gun and you right and they wrong, kill them. That was my hero. That sounded good to me. Then King come by and said, no killing. Oh, King, you came too late, man. I'll go with you, but don't tell me. And then when I got to see that movement, see it, old folks, young folks, with no fear. Huh? I remember this one brother, they kept beating and stomping, and he wouldn't get up till he got his hat, man. Put his hat back on. They caught him again, kicked him and stomped him. And I never thought I'd see the day I'd sit here and tell a person like I'm telling you, I'd rather be killed by somebody than kill somebody. That's what that movement did for me.
So who's going to take the weight? Like how are things? What's happening now?
What do you mean? Who's going to take the what?
The weight. Like a lot of these leaders and the movement. A lot of people think things are fair. Like a lot of people don't want to. Like there was a case last week. This half black woman was suing her university.
Well, you know, black folks, y'all sometimes worse than white folks. A nigga got a right to be crazy? Huh? A nigga got a right to be crazy? You act like we don't have a right to be crazy. Huh?
Okay.
I have a right to sell drugs. Huh? I have a right to be gay. So all you black folks sitting around talking about the youngsters with these pants below their butt. Who gave you the power to be the overseer of niggas? Huh? I remember when I was a little boy, we didn't have TV. Big bulletin, talking about this big crime that happened. First thing my Christian mama said, I hope it wasn't a Negro. Well, who do you hope it was, Mama? Jew? Italian? Huh? I didn't hear the Christian thing come out of you, Mama. I hope it didn't happen. Huh? This is a game, man. And these youngsters, thank God these youngsters, they don't give a damn about what old black folks think. Huh? They couldn't care less.
Right.
You hear people talking about, well, black folks is like a bunch of crabs in a pot of hot water. Once one gets to the top, they pull them down. That's the water that's making them do that, nigga. It ain't the crabism. And all y'all come with that whole foggy bullshit. That's why they stop listening to you. They don't give a damn. Bitches and hoes, bitching, all these black folks is mad. They didn't get mad at James Brown when he said, shake your money maker. What's a money maker? It's a vagina that the universal God, not the church, gave you. And when you sell it, it's called a money maker. They all be out there doing what he said. Then he came up with a song, big song. It was a lie. I'm black and I'm proud. He should have been, now I'm black and I'm proud. Because there's one time he had so much concholine on his head, he looked like something in the zoo. Huh? And so consequently, when you stop and think about, where this thing is going, when you tell me, your son, out of some perverted love you got for me, that you got to be twice as smart as a white person. Children don't hear what you mean, they hear what you say. So now they got tests now where they give black children, same income, same this and that. With all blacks, Hispanics, and because of that social economic group which they all part of, all of them make 100. Then they take another group, same everything, and put some white children in there, and they flunk it because mama told me I was dumb. Do you know what a violation it is when you teach me, your son? You going out for the weekend, bunch of white racist cops out there. Just they stop you, just behave, talk slow, and put your hands on. Anytime you, my daddy, teach me to respect filth, you make me think there's something wrong with me. See, we don't know that. See, the problem in America, is we the only group of oppressed people, and few people have ever been oppressed like we were. Raped my mama, raped my brother, impregnated my mama, cut babies out of her, cut my joint off and all that. Never have anybody went through that like we did. And so now we opt for education over liberation. You hear me? None of us liberated. George Washington wasn't beating up the British so he could open up a college. He didn't say, give me education, he said, give me liberty or give me death. Right now, you and him can be worth $40 billion. 12 PhDs, y'all leave here to go back to Philly, driving your Rolls Royce, and you hear a siren. And you squeeze the steering wheel. You didn't have nothing to do with it. It's in your genes. Huh? It's in your fucking genes, man. And you don't know it.
Right.
Huh?
But
Squeeze it. And then when that cop car passed by, you say, thank God, God ain't got nothing to do with it. He wasn't after you in the first place. And so it's that whole piece that when it catches up, you know how sexist this planet is. Huh? Oh, your daughter get raped and you commit suicide. You've been disgraced. Please. And so when you stop and think about there's certain things you can't change. A sexist system all over the world, and yet it's called the mother tongue. Not the father tongue. Because when I come over here and they teach me how to talk white, and niggas like me because I sound white, I violate God because the mother tongue. A dog barks and another dog understands it. A cat meow, another cat. Nobody understands me because I tampered with my mother tongue, trying to appease white folks. Huh? Tampered with the mother tongue. Motherfucker, oh, that's a horrible, no. We're going to get reparations, and that word's going to get us more money than anything ever happened. And you know who's going to get reparations for us? Them law firms that got 40% of the cigarette settlement. It'll depend on you. All that crap. Oh, we don't do that. Shut up, mama. And so here's how it works. When the English, and that was a great movie, Bells. See, Abraham Lincoln said something and they made him so mad. He said, slavery is an American problem, and they went off, the nice folks. And Abraham Lincoln says, the textile industry in New York City and in London make more money in 2 weeks than the cotton farmers and slave owners make in 5 years. That's what they're talking about in that movie, man. That textile industry. And that's what's happening now because of you. You see, when I was a little boy, white children didn't get exposed to this. So when I was a little boy, nobody's born a racist or sexist. So the boy says, Mama, how come black folks take all this off? Oh, they happy. Well, why can they? My mama says she's always happy. Beulah's always smiling. She at their house on Christmas fixing their food, and I ain't got nobody to fix my toys, mama. But know how it happened when the Indigos here? Children ain't buying bicycles. Did you hear me? They on little skateboards, man. It just leaves and you don't even see it. Leaves, you don't even see it. And so when you stop and think about where this piece is, and the universal God don't have to tell you, if you don't know it. And the black woman, hurricanes. And in the women's movement, they said, well, you take something this bad and name it after women, so they throw men at it. You can't help them. Black runaway slaves invented hockey in Canada. See who I am? Invented it. Then a guy named Milton Stanley said, let's look at this here. Now it's called the Stanley Cup. How can y'all have no ice? Oh, this is 2 Olympics back. Jamaica's won the bobsled. They ain't got no snow. Somebody figured out the way you win the bobsled is when you running. You pick up that momentum when you get on there. Ice ain't got nothing to do with it. That centrifugal force. That's when they learned how to run and jump on the sled. And white folk couldn't handle them. And so when a white boy, prostitution was always in the Negro neighborhood. For him. Well, none of his friends could see him. The mayor could come down from Chicago to 30 miles, 40 miles away. Nobody knew who they were. So they'd pull up in front of your house. Your mama ran it. And honk the horn. And y'all would come out so they know they're safe and take them in the park. That's where the word honky came from, okay? All right? So when the Europeans said there'd be no more, see what I like about old white Christians, that's where I get my information from. They get old and aching and they want to go to heaven, so they try to purify stuff. Them old white Christians come and talk to me. I'm going to heaven. And so, in certain parts of Europe, if you was born a billionaire, you still get a check when you get 18 years old. That's that slavery money. It's like going to outer space. Once you get out there, you can't never come back. It just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. And so they said to America, you know, we're trying to get to heaven. They didn't say that to us. No more slaves. You saw it in the movie. No more slaves. They didn't need the money. They got all the money. So Americans said, oh, what we going to do? What we do? We got these slaves. We can't have no more. Nah, they don't know. How we going to do it? Don't worry about it. So he made me, 14 years old, put a sack on my head and have sex, fuck my mama. And he's so dumb, he didn't know mom knew that was me, but she couldn't do nothing because she didn't want him to get mad and start killing the slaves. You remember the story when God wanted to save the Jews, he told them to put one on the door? A mark. You tell me God didn't know where the Jews was? What kind of God y'all talking about? Ooh, man, y'all scared shit out of me. You mean God who put the whole universe here didn't know it's a Jew in that house? You got to pray to God and tell God your rent due. Any God that didn't know your rent was due ain't God. Are you crazy? Made everything, but didn't know your rent due. Do what that tougher do when they get in there. And so I had to screw my mama, man. That's where the word motherfucker comes from. And then white boy shit. That's why they hated the word until they got around black folks and realized I said, this motherfucking pair of glasses. And that's when he knew I didn't know. His genes knew. And now you go to a white movie, they say motherfucker before they finish running the credits from the movies coming on. What he didn't know, if I impregnate my first cousin, there's a 98% that the baby be born deformed. So what do you think happened when I started fucking my mama? So all the foreign babies started coming down the chute. He didn't know, he ignorant, he don't know what it was. See, we blamed all that on women. That was what sexism did. See, we just thought there's nothing, we didn't know there was a seed in her. They didn't know that till the medical people found out in 1750. We just thought she was the incubator. You know, we make the biscuits and take it by Mary's house and put it in her oven. That's what they thought. So the white boy said, well, here's how we get around that. All these old ignorant white boys that can't afford slaves, we'll sell them to them. Hey, come here, Willie. There's some of these niggas here. Well, you know, I got no money, boss. No white man can call themselves white without owning some niggas, so we gonna sell you these crippled ones, but you got to buy 12 of them. Now you see where the fucking dozens come from, and it's about your mama, and nobody on this planet played a dozen except black men in America and in the Caribbean. So what the fuck y'all know? Huh? The dozens, huh? And that's where the reparations money gonna come. Because these youngsters coming up now under y'all's influence, they'll be outraged when they find this out. And they're going to open up the floodgates. When they get through, even Africa's going to get a piece. That's where it's going. That's where it's going. That's this.
Well, I hope that's true.
Ain't no hope. I'm dealing fucking hope, man. Hope. Hope you going to pay your goddamn rent. Hope your car work. Come on, man, ain't nothing but bullshit.
No, I'm just saying. I think a lot of black people are being brainwashed.
It ain't got nothing to do with them.
Okay.
In here, if you say I'd like to go to Paris this year, but I can't afford, you just told 75 trillion cells to see to you don't get to Paris, huh? That's who you are. And when you find that out, huh? When you find that out, when they told me I had the worst cancer you can find. Huh? I told my son, Doc, I said, don't show that to your mother, till after your sister get married. Then I gave her the report. How could they do this? I said, bitch, you better get out of here. You think I'm leaving this pussy here for your high school sweetheart? You out your mind. I ain't going nowhere. I know I'm not going nowhere. If you hope don't work. You never heard no rich, powerful motherfucker say hope. Hope I'll win the war, but a fool. The real folks know they're going to win the war before they start, except they don't count in the universe. Universe. There's no such thing as hope. Hope. And so what happens is, the black woman, hurricanes. That's the black woman. That's her spirit. White folk know that, the real ones, and we don't. All hurricanes start at the exact spot in West Africa where the slaves was put on the ship. Not almost the right area where slaves was put on the ship. That's where hurricanes start. They stay underwater and follow the same route the slave ship followed. No slave was offloaded the ship till it got to the Caribbean. No hurricane jumps above water until it get to the Caribbean. Hit this country and come all the way up the East Coast to Maine. Maine is as close to Canada as you are to me. Canada has never had a hurricane because Canada never messed with a sister like America has. It get there, turns north and go back out. That's who you are. You think this goddamn cam and that little chump shit you got gonna change? That ain't changing nothing. You already there. Huh? And we come in with this bullshit. Think we know something. Knowing something in a white racist system that would kill God if they could. What prestige is that?
Final thoughts.
Well, when I sit and think about the civil rights movement, the 50th anniversary, I was there 2 weeks ago at Freedom, Mississippi summer. On the plane on the way to Jackson, Mississippi, I was with one of my daughters. And I was saying, you know, people who was 22 years old then, they be 72. People that's 30 be 80. We're going to see some old crippled folks. And they think about all the ones that's dead. So we get there, the plane land in Jackson. 12 black police chiefs is waiting for me to take me to the hotel. And I said, I remember, when I come to Jackson, it'd be white cops, FBI, CIA, waiting to figure out how they could kill me. What a blessing to come. I said, daughter, every time I came to Mississippi, I knew they was going to kill me, but I came anyway. I didn't worry about my family because I was in the military before I was married, before you was born. And when they called me, had I been married with a family, I'd have gone. So we put all this bullshit up to make like we worried about our families. I said, we here. What a blessing. I said, understand what that means, daughter. It means we took on the mightiest nation in the history of the planet that the whole world was scared of. And we didn't take no guns or no attitudes. And we won. We won. With all their trickiness. Next time you see the picture of King on the balcony shot and see them black folks pointing up, how'd they know it wasn't going to be another shot? Who were they? It's human nature for you to hit. Something come through the way you hit. Oh, they didn't. How'd you know? There wasn't going to be another shot. Malcolm, we sued and made the government give us the autopsies. Why? Come on, white boy, you know there wasn't no federal crime. Now, do I need to go and tell the world on y'all? See, you make deals. I need this information because I got to teach my mama, but I won't talk about it. What was important about Malcolm is them guys were shooting up. He was on the stage. All the bullets in Malcolm went down. They gave them thugs blanks. And that famous picture with the brothers giving him mouth to mouth. He's a New York undercover cop. He's so secret, his paycheck came from the utility company, not the police. He's CIA now. But see, you don't do mouth to mouth on a chest wound. You pull air bubbles to the lungs. So if you look at Malcolm's autopsy and James L. Ray's autopsy, Lee Harvey Oswald, they both died from the same thing, air bubbles to the lung. They've already decided they're going to shoot you in the chest. They got the woman sitting down. And so, never before in the history of the planet have they went after somebody and killed everybody. When they hit Jesus, they didn't mess with the disciples. Julius Caesar, they didn't mess with the legislator. We the only people, man. They wiped them out one by one, ran them crazy, framed them. One by one by one by one. And we still surviving. Education is not power. Money is not power. It's information. That's what y'all get. Information is power. If I give you wrong information, you got bad power. I give you good information, you got good power. And you can't kill power. You know, it's like a soldier. Shoot one, the other pick up that flag. They don't pick up each other. The medics pick them up. You pick up that flag and can't keep running. So I just say thank you and appreciate you. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gregory. Love you back. So was the computer wrong or you got 9 million votes?
I got 9 million votes because they plugged it up wrong. They made a mistake and started and hooked it to my name. Okay? Instead of Nixon's name.
Okay. So it was a
showing how they were doing that all the way back in 1968.
Huh? You what?
They've been doing this.
Showed how they were fixing the election.
No, man. Since day one. Come on.